Hi guys, Alex Peak Performance Reviews. Welcome to another vlog. We're here with our Revo Stage 4 Fiesta ST, obviously 330 to 350 horsepower, depending on what dyno you go on, but obviously still buckets of power. We're really excited about the new product that we've put on the car. We've put some mileage on it as well, and we wanted to do that before we do a review. So that's the TTV Clutch kit. So links in the bio to the exact kit in which you'll potentially could be getting if you're interested in getting it. It also comes with a lightweight flywheel, so you're going to get some performance advantages and benefits from that. Obviously the lighter, any kind of unsprung weight or weight on the end of the flywheel or crank, you're going to get some performance benefits potentially at the wheels technically. So everything that's driven off of the crankshaft, anything that weighs weight will lower the power. If you basically decrease the weight off the crank bit by bit, whether it be flywheel, ancillary pulleys that are connected to the crank, things like tyres even, alloys. A lot of people don't realise it will give you performance enhancement. It will make the car a little bit quicker, a little bit more freer to rev, all kinds of things like that. Anyone that's probably done lightweight flywheels, lightweight alloys will notice the gains. People that can't get over the science of how that works, trust me when I say that it will give you some performance enhancements. But the biggest thing for me, when you're getting that kind of power in a car that probably originally wasn't designed to do that, even if it's got a really good clutch and flywheel as standard, you'll get frustrated if you keep breaking parts. Now, I heard a while ago that these will eat stock clutches. There's still some people that think they will take, the stock clutch will take 350 horsepower, 330 horsepower. It won't. I know a number of people that have had lots of stock clutches and flywheels eaten away, and you can even get the stage 2 one, which is essentially the ST 200 clutch, and it still isn't strong enough, despite what some people say. It isn't. It will not last up to that kind of power, and it will not last the test of time. It will last for a little while, but it's a ticking time bomb, and if you've got to kind of keep pulling apart, and if you know, we've done this ourselves, you'll know that it's time consuming, and no one likes having to take the drive shafts out and the gearbox out time and time again. You can get things wrong. Just if you put your time and effort into doing it once, you want to do it once and you want to do it right. So when you get more power on these cars, you need a good clutch and flywheel. Now, I've known about TTV for a number of years, more so because actually they're relatively local to me actually, but they're based in the UK. They're based in Copdock near Ipswich, which is not too far from where I live, and I've seen them at different shows and stuff like that, got speaking to them a bit like how I did with EBC and other companies like you do, and I was really interested in seeing if they had a kit for the Fiesta ST, and they were like, sure and behold, they were developing one. So they said to me, we'll do you a really good price if you review it, give it some shares, but be honest. But to be fair, I can be honest about a kit, but the reality is when a company like that are building products for sheikhs in Dubai that have got 4,000 horsepower, and you go to their unit and you see the individual components and how they've been manufactured, you know that you're going to be pretty sure that it's going to be a good kit and it's going to be okay. The quality is second to none. Like I say, these guys are providing kits to twin turbo Lamborghini Huracans, 2JZ Supras, and built funny cars and race cars that have got anything from 2,000 to 4,000, and even race cars that have got 200 horsepower but a track and road rally, etc. So these guys have been doing it for a massive amount of years. They know what they're doing. They're going to be good. So we were intrigued and wanted to obviously put a kit on a car because we know we needed to. It's simple as that. So we've gone and got this clutch and flywheel package. We've gone for, again, you can go to TTV and you can speak to them, pick up the phone and they'll answer. They've got great customer service and they will listen to what you want from the car, and you don't have to have an off-shelf kit that basically is just good for 350 horsepower for a year or something. You need to tell them individually what you're doing with that car, and they basically asked me, Toby and the guys there, they asked me, what do I want from this kit? And I said, well, I go to Nürburgring, I go to Spa, and I do about 10 track days plus a year. I don't race it, but it's as close to racing as fast road use as you could really get. So I said, I need something that will cover that. So they basically gave me the paddle kit was basically upgraded, so the pad material is dedicated to what you should have it. So if you only were using it for fast road, they'll give you a fast road paddle, so it's not too aggressive on anything if you don't need it. But if you're using it in quite heavy conditions, like real hard track use, and you're doing a lot of track use, you will need the road race track special version of the compound basically, and the pad material. So yeah, it can be custom made to whatever you want. You can go to them even if you've got a 450 horsepower kit. There's always kits being developed for this car for 400, 450 horsepower, but beyond anywhere 350 horsepower wise, you're looking at a built block sleeved or with a block mod, all kinds of stuff. We can go into that, but we're not going to. But if you are going to go down that route, you go to companies like TTV, because they can build you whatever kit you want. Anyway, we've got the basic kind of off-shelf kit, but it's been matched to kind of what we use the car for. So it's got the upgraded race, road, track pad material on the paddle, and I believe it's a 6 paddle. I'll correct myself in the bio if it's not. It's either 5 or a 6. But yeah, obviously lovely lightweight flywheel as well included in the kit. These do cost a relatively large amount of money, but it's all relative to how long that kit's going to last. If you maintain that kit and you don't just drive like an absolute nutcase, I guess, and ride in the clutch and stuff like that, which you normally use even when you're driving hard, there's a difference between driving normally and fast, even on track, and stupid. You can kill any clutch really if you drive like a twat, but realistically this will last a long time. So I'm going to go and do a full track review. I'm going to go, you can come in car and watch what I do now, and we'll go through how it feels. We've already done about, I think, coming up to 6,000 miles on the clutch and flywheel, and we wanted to do that just to make sure that when we talk to you about the pros and cons of it, it's not just first drive basis, because one, it can sound a bit funny, you can get vibrations, you can get squeaks and squeals, so we've let it bed in properly, and basically there's no better time to do it than after 5,000-6,000 miles, more so because actually 5,000-6,000 miles 4 months down the line I think it's been on the car. We've wanted to be thorough with it. We know that it lasts, so, and it's taken some real track abuse and some fast road abuse as well, but let's talk to you a lot about how the car feels with that clutch on. Okay, so let's start off with doing some kind of bite and feel tests on the clutch, because some people want to know that. Now, if you expect this to be and feel like a completely stock standard clutch, you haven't modified cars before to a high level, in the sense of you've not been used to a car with necessarily a lot of power and having to go with a clutch and flywheel package that will accept that kind of power. If you go anything way over stock, the likelihood of it being a little bit of a harder feel and bite is high. So actually with that, I'm actually surprised how nice this does feel underfoot. If you basically press the clutch and flywheel, or the clutch, pedal in, you'll probably hear an audible change in the revs just ever so slightly. You won't see the revs kind of drop that much, but you will get kind of a little bit of a sound where the engagement is in. But underfoot, the feel of the clutch pedal is actually really soft. I'm not having to press in that hard to that, so it doesn't feel too different to stock really, which is it definitely feels stiffer, but not that much. So pedal feel actually, despite the power it accepts, is unreal. And then on to engagement, so and bite. So where is the engagement and where is the bite? So before actually I carry on, I'm going to talk about the sound. Now, I think there's only a few other people, well, there's probably more than a few other people that have got this clutch. It's obviously new in its development, not new in its development, but new. So it's not been out for very long. There is, because it's uprated, when the flywheel's rotating and the material, the pad materials catching, and you're getting grip, you will get a little bit of a a bite, a sound, so it's a bit of a like a whine and a squeal. Some people won't like that, but that's why I'm telling you about it now. So if you install the clutch and flywheel correctly, it's not going to create any damage to any of the components. Like I say, we've done 7,000 miles. I said 5,000 or 6,000 miles. We've done 7,000 miles, or coming up to 7,000 miles in this clutch and flywheel, and nothing's felt weird and untoward. So we've had no problems, and we've driven the car on track, and we've driven it hard on the road. But it's definitely, the squeal and the sound that I'm talking about has definitely subsided a fair amount after the first 1,000 miles, or even 100 or 200 miles. But it's still there if you go for the bite and trying to get the bite and engagement quick. If you go gentle with it and then introduce some acceleration or some throttle, you won't get that sound so much. It's a fine art to mastering the ability to not get that sound, which can be embarrassing to some people. I don't really care. It looks like a beastie crazy car, and it is. So chances are over the exhaust you probably won't hear it outside. Probably a little bit, I don't know, but I've been told you can't overly hear it outside, so that's good. But you can hear it. Don't worry about it. It's been on the car since day one, 7,000 miles deep. It's not doing anything to the car. It's just the pad material strength. If you go for just the street one, you probably won't get that sound as much, but I suspect you're still going to get it. So yeah, I'm going to do a slight hill climb. You probably can't see from the video that well, but we're definitely at an incline. So well, there you can tell because I'm rolling back, I'm rolling back, I'm rolling back, and I'm not doing anything. So it's a hill climb. Ever so slightly, so you really want clutch control to be half decent. So I'm going to slowly go up to engagement. I'm going to let go of the brake and wait till I get bite. Now I've got bite because I've stopped rolling back now, and I'm just holding probably a quarter of the way down, so I've still got a quarter of engagement to go fully pressed to the floor, but plenty to go up. So I'm going to try and pull away with no accelerator. Slowly, I'm getting to close to halfway, and the car will shake, and it won't. There you go, it's going. So you can do it, but you've got to really get, and there's actually no sound. So if you get the bite right, that's just me riding the clutch, and if I let go a little bit more, you'll hear that. And I'm still just off the clutch, and I'm introducing no acceleration to do that. So I'm gonna reverse. I've got a good bite point, so no sound again. If I go back hard and I don't get the engagement right, you'll hear more of that squeal. Just depends on how you, when you get used to the car and you drive it a lot, you can really get to the point where you won't even feel that and you won't even hear that. But the engagement and feel is really actually quite nice. So I'm gonna do it with a bit of acceleration. If you get the bite right, again, no sound whatsoever, and all is good and well. So for people that worry about that sound, if they have heard from someone or anyone that is relatively harsh, it really isn't harsh in the slightest. So just run over a big branch, that's great. Branch is gone, and I'm going to give myself a little bit more space. There's not great traction on here because it's well, one, it's lumpy bumpy, and two, it's not the best surface. So okay, I'm going to try and do a acceleration kind of, not acceleration test. I've not got enough space to kind of do an acceleration test, and plus it's uphill, but I'm just going to give it a little bit of a launch. So yeah, we've done the biting point. Like I say, it really isn't that bad at all. In fact, it's actually outstandingly good for the power that this clutch and flywheel accepts, or I should say clutch really. But yeah, obviously the flywheel is an added benefit. The fact that you obviously can reduce that mass off the crankshaft is a massive performance benefit. I say massive, it's a large and decent noticeable performance enhancement benefit, which is great. So just makes the car that little bit quicker, and it's a bonus really. If you buy a clutch and flywheel package, you've got a clutch that's basically just taking the power and you need it, but then you're like, oh, spending all that hard-earned cash, what's it really doing for me? It's doing a lot. It's obviously accepting the power that you're going to be throwing at it. However, it is giving you that massive performance or good performance gain as well. So win-win, all in one package. So it's really, really good. So actually, value for money. At the end of the day, if you're throwing this kind of power at a car like this, you need something like that. Right, so yeah, let's go for a proper drive, and let's give this clutch and flywheel a bit of a rollicking and a bit of a bashing, and see what it's all about, so you can kind of get a kind of feel for how it rides and goes on the road, I guess. Do just absolutely love this car, I have to say. Married up together with like I say, a great clutch and flywheel package like this, knowing full well that you can just beat and lean on this car and punish this car, knowing full well that you haven't got to worry about the clutch and flywheel, which in turn is good for your gearbox and your bank balance once you've spent that money initially. Good to know. At the end of the day, like I say, when you're spending dollar and pound like this, you want to know that your investment is well established, so to speak, and strong and going to take that power all day long. And yeah, like I say, rest assured, knowing that full well that we've done 6,000 to 7,000 miles on this already, we know full well it's going to be looking after you for that much longer, so that's pretty cool. Like I say, the clutch and flywheel has been on here for just over coming up to 7,000 miles, so it's proven to be good so far. Everything feels sure-footed, straight, true, and as it should, and it's not made any detrimental effects to anything else other than it making it stronger. And when I'll be honest with you, the moment we put that turbo kit on the car, I had a feeling the clutch would be on borrowed time, and actually the flywheel was dead as well, so both clutch and flywheel did need replacing, and you really couldn't reuse any of them components. So brand new components, brand new flywheel bolts, and everything else. The clutch and flywheel was toast. It had done 43,000 miles. It had done probably only 3,000 miles on the stock clutch, if even that actually. So yeah, it didn't last very long at all, and it was slipping after 1,000 miles. So yes, of course, it wasn't a brand new clutch, but I do have some other people that I know that have had stock clutches with this Revo Stage 4 turbo kit. At the end of the day, people keep on asking me, will I be okay with the stock flywheel or an ST200 clutch? No is the answer. As soon as you get up to the realms of 330, 350 horsepower, it's not going to take it, guys. I'm sorry. I would love it. I would also have loved it to have been able to take the power, but it just doesn't. So yeah, you've got to invest. You've got to spend the money. In the long run, it's going to be worthwhile, because these things are like clutches and flywheels at this strength, they're going to just take it all day long. As I get a shed ton of wheel spin, the clutch obviously hangs on, and then the tyres don't quite, but that's first gear pull, and you wouldn't expect a set of straight track tyres, or more mainly street really. The NS2R is brilliant street tyre and half decent or decent track tyre as well. They're not going to take low down pulls with you know, near 350 horsepower, with a clutch that can basically take the bite and the power and hold it. So you are going to start to get to the point where the clutch takes it, but the wheels and the tyres are overcome with the sheer power. So yeah. Yeah, if you haven't watched our unboxing video or any of the other videos on the clutch, make sure you do. Yeah, there's not really anything else to say. They're the most important fundamental questions and answers and things that I've done and talked through. If you've got any comments about the clutch and flywheel, please pop them in the comment section and we will answer every single one of your questions. And yeah, to be honest with you, like I say, the reality is we've done 6,000 to 7,000 miles in this clutch already. Everything, all the gears feel absolutely beautiful. Every gear goes in. Everything feels as stock and perfect, which is great. We obviously put a new gearbox fluid in, so obviously make sure you renew you know, components and oils and stuff as you should, as per regular maintenance, or do it a little bit more often if you're driving the car pretty damn hard like we do. And yeah, be rest assured that this clutch and flywheel package is absolutely superb. There's no rattly plates if you go for multi-plate clutch design, so you know, like I say, you can open the windows, bit of traffic lights, won't feel embarrassed, that rattly sound, which unfortunately I do get in my Supra. But unfortunately, when you go beyond and you go beyond and beyond and beyond, you have to kind of get things that can be a bit more crude as you step up with the power levels of any car, any performance car. If you're watching this video and you haven't got a Fiesta ST, it doesn't really matter. Like I say, it's kind of showcasing actually how good TTV is. These guys know what they're doing and will give you whatever you need for whatever application. We are soon to be getting on Mark IV Supra back, and then it's off for its tune. We're looking at way over 1,000 horsepower, and it is a fast road car as well as a track car as well, so, and as well as VMAX road car as well. And we will be changing the beastie kind of RPS single plate clutch and flywheel package we've got on there, which can accept somewhere around 850, which is around where we're at. But realistically, it's not going to take 850 for that long, really. So single plate clutch is at that kind of power level, no matter what materials you're throwing at it, are going to be on borrowed time. So when we tune the car, I suspect it's going to start to get to the point where it's just going to slip and we're going to need something beefier. So we are going to be hitting up TTV, and we are going to be buying a nice lovely clutch and flywheel package from TTV that will be able to accept 1,300 or so horsepower all day long, and we can't wait to get it on the car as well. Yeah, if you have got, like I say, any questions, please hit them in the comment section, as I said. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you again on the next one. Bye for now.